I'm going to give you a couple of different scenarios. And I want you to just think about these scenarios. And here's the first one I'd like you to consider. I want you to think of the last career moment you've had where you felt overworked, overwhelmed, undervalued, where you may have felt drained of energy, where the environment you were working in could probably be categorized as toxic or even hostile, where the expectations and the pace was absolutely relentless. Can you get one of these moments into your head? So think about 7 minutes ago. It's never hard. It's never hard to think of that one. But actually think about it for a moment. Is it fair to say that pressure had an impact on that experience for you? Totally. Absolutely. So I think it's fair to say if I make the assumption nobody rolled out of bed this morning thinking, I really want some more relentless pressure in my life, right? Because we even think about pressure that way, and it's hard, and nobody wants that. But I'm going to offer another reflection that I'd like you to consider. And it's the flip side of this. So I want you to think of a situation where you experienced rapid learning and growth, where you were pushed outside your comfort zone, but even the kind of anxiety of the unknown was matched with an excitement to do something different, where trust was built, where relationships were strengthened, where when you reflect back on it, you think, oh my gosh, I did that. We did that. We learned, and we feel more confident to take on a challenge in the future. Think of one of those situations. And is it fair to say that pressure probably had a lot to do with that situation also? It's interesting, this idea of pressure, because pressure is not really anything other than what our relationship to pressure actually is. And we're going to look at very specifically that, because pressure can help us to learn and grow. But more often than not, pressure has the capacity to diminish us, our performance, our leadership, the relationships that we actually work in, our ability to be innovative and creative. And if we don't manage pressure, the reality is, frustrating as it is, pressure ends up managing us. And it becomes very hard for us to do the great stuff that we actually know that we are capable of. So we are going to talk about pressure today. And we're going to look at it under the context of what gets us into trouble when it comes to pressure, how we approach it, how we think about it, but how do we also leverage pressure to be effective for us? Recognizing that, I'm sure we would all agree, some pressure is good. Some pressure actually gets us focused and momentum going, ideas start flowing. But for the procrastinators in the room, we are going to see that too much pressure, pushing things too close to a deadline, actually doesn't help us in those types of situations.